Welcome everyone to the 2020 IMAG-AND Futures meeting. We are delighted to have you all online today, St. Patrick's Day, March 17th, 2020, and we hope you are wearing green. We are sorry that we weren't able to meet in person for the meeting that was originally scheduled for today and tomorrow in Bethesda, Maryland. But we are happy to let you know that we have rescheduled the in-person meeting for a year from today. So put on your calendars for March 17 and 18, 2021. We will have the full in-person meeting for the IMAG-AND meeting, and Dr. Sylvia Blumker and Dr. Shane Pierce Cutler will be co-chairing once again. And I want to thank both Sylvia and Shane for all their efforts in organizing that meeting as well as this meeting on the fly within a week. And so I was really happy to work with them and look forward to continuing to work with them for next year's meeting in person. So I want to thank them very much, and also thank the program committee, which I believe is on the next slide, for all their efforts. And especially Dr. Kathy Richmond from the Paul G. Allen Frontiers Group for supporting the Trainee Award. So I will turn it over now to Shane and Sylvia to give you more intro. Thanks.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Welcome, everybody. And echoing everything what Grace said, it's been a lot of fun to work closely with Grace, and all the folks mentioned on the previous slide have put a lot of work into this. So hopefully, at least this condensed version is a start to what we had been thinking about. We wanted to take a couple minutes to kind of explain the background of how we came up with the theme of amplifying impact through nurturing diversity. IMAG-AND was a clever acronym for it. So it's really the premise that if you look at this fun, colorful plot, the premise that we firmly believe that the impact of our field of multiscale modeling will greatly increase the more we have diversity in our multiscale modelers. And we're going to talk a little bit about what we mean by diversity, but really, if we want to be solving the broad-ranging important problems in our society, we need to be engaging and empowering people to many different types of people to be able to understand and do multi-scale modeling. So that's really the premise, that we believe in the effort of nurturing diversity in a lot of different ways, and it's the right thing to do, and it's really going to make our field flourish. So having said that, if think each of us individually, sort of who we are, we wanted to acknowledge that there's many ways that make each of us unique and also make us a diverse group. Demographics are all obviously one, our gender, our race, our ethnicity, our background, our age, our nationality, but many other things fit into that. We all have different thinking styles, different languages, whether that be like foreign languages or coding languages. We have different perspectives, we have different ranks, we have different cultures in our institutions or even our backgrounds. So we really want to embrace the idea that there's a lot of different things that make each of us unique. And really this puzzle piece illustrates how we can all really fit together in a beautiful way to form, overall a field that is broad reaching and highly connected. Also the way that we developed our program was kind of leveraging the idea that even within, if you look kind of even within our field, sort of, obviously this relates a bit to our background, but within our field, there's a lot of different things that we want to think about. One of them is really addressing the diversity of our workforce. And so we had planned an invited keynote from the Center for Workforce Diversity at the NIH, and some workshops on implicit bias and stereotype threats. So we're planning to do those things again, those next year. But we also realize there's lots of other ways to think about the diversity of our field. One is the context We have people studying such a wide variety of disease or other societal problems with multiscale modeling, but there's even more areas that we should consider branching into to leverage to amplify our impact. We all have different approaches, and those approaches are ever changing, and so acknowledging that, so we had a session there. Then also in terms of model credibility, there's different ways that we can address model credibility, and also we need to really start thinking about the considerations for diversity in the data that we use to validate our models and to generate our models, so and how relevant those data are. We also acknowledge there's lots of different ways that we can generate funding to do multiscale modeling research, so we had a session on that. And then pedagogically, lots of different ways to train the next generation of multiscale modeling, whether, thinking about different types of backgrounds, whether it's a biology background wanting to go into modeling, or a modeling background going into biology, or somewhere in between, or something else. Just realizing that we want to embrace the idea that there's different ways to teach this work. And then finally, really the impact, the more forward-looking, and that's where we wanted to increase the diversity of the age and status of the presenters at the meeting by developing a trainee podium presentation that highlights some of the top or kind of most exciting work going on in the field by trainees for the next generation. So obviously we couldn't do the whole thing, all of those sessions, but we decided to sort of think about this quote that a student that's on the Diversity Inclusion Committee in our BME department here at UVA pointed this quote out to me, and I thought it was really effective, thinking of, if you think about diversity and people who are coming from backgrounds that are generally underrepresented in a certain group, you might think diversity is being invited to the party. Oh, like now I'm here, I'm in the room. But if we really want to be inclusive of people that aren't normally there, we should really ask them to dance, to really be engaged, to be part of the whole thing. And with that, that really inspired us to make this condensed meeting feature the next generation, that those who would, usually we don't have trainees up on the podium. So we've plucked out all the trainees who we're going to give presentations at the meeting, and they're going to be the ones highlighted in this IMAG-AND futures. So with that, I'm going to give it over to Shane to go over the details of the plan.
Okay, so I just wanted to echo Grace and Sylvia's thanks for everybody, to everybody for joining today. I know with everything going on in our world right now, it's kind of crazy, and it's especially important and impressive that we as a community can pull together and support the next generation of multi-scale modelers. And so as Sylvia said, that's really the theme of this afternoon. And we're going to kick it off with our trainee oral presentation competition. And so we have 4 finalists that were selected from over 30 entries by our program committee that served as judges to select these finalists. And we've invited them to each give 15-minute long presentations, followed by 5 minutes of Q&A from the audience. And I'll show you how we're going to manage the Q&A in just a minute when I get through the rest of the agenda. But these 4 trainees are competing for a $300 first prize. And again, we have judges from our program committee that are going to be judging them. And Kathy Richmond, Dr. Richmond from the Allen Frontiers group will be presenting the winner at the end of the meeting. So do stick around to the very end so you can hear which one of these finalists wins the big prize. We will have a break from 2:40 to 2:50, and then we will come back for the second half of the meeting, which is showcasing the 3 trainees that were part of the original program. If we were going to have had this in person today, these are the 3 trainees that were invited to speak up on the stage. And so we'll be introducing them and the sessions that they were invited to speak in. And then we'll have some closing remarks, and Dr. Richmond will announce the winner of the oral presentation competition. So that is the plan for today. But this meeting is not going to end with just today's activities. We are going to have asynchronous activities that are going to start as soon as this meeting ends and carry forward as long as we want until the next year even in terms of our online mentoring. So we have a wonderful set of mentors that have volunteered their time. Over 50 mentors from our community have volunteered their time and efforts to be available for our trainees to reach out to them. And they're easily accessible and searchable and findable, and I'll show trainees how they can do that in just a minute. And then we're also having, starting today for the next week, an online trainee poster competition. So we had over 30 trainees submit posters and enter our poster competition, and we will be having our programming committee judge those posters. And a week from today on the web, we will announce the winner, and that winner will also take home a cash prize. That'll be going on with the judging asynchronously for the next week. Okay, so let me show you how to get to all this good stuff. If you just go to the wiki over here, everybody see the wiki? Okay, so if you just click the current IMAG meeting up at the top bar, and then you'll see the agenda, which is the page that I'm on right now. At the top, you can see the program committee, the trainee poster competition. If you click on that, this is where you can view all the posters that the trainees have entered into the competition. I think, here we go. Taking a minute to come up. Yep, and these are listed in alphabetical order according to last name. You can scroll down, you can look at all these posters. And as I said, the judges will be doing this over the next week and awarding a first place prize to the winner. Going back to the agenda, we also have the mentors. You can actually access this from a number of different places. Let me go to the agenda. All right, so here we have the IMAG-AND mentor list. So if you click on that, you'll see a very long list of mentors who have volunteered their time to be accessible to the trainees who wish to contact them. So if we just click on Phelan here, for example, you can get Phelan's affiliation, a link to his website, and any more information. And if you're interested in being a mentor and you haven't yet filled this out, just let us know. We'd love to have the more the merrier. So if you're interested to serve as a mentor, just send us an email, or you can even just go through the wiki and post your information directly. So in terms of today, I'll go back to the agenda, which is posted here. As our speakers are giving their presentations, if you want to click on their titles, we'll click on Angela because she's first. You can actually see her bio listed at the top, and then you can click on the link and that will show the abstract that she submitted for this meeting. And then as Angela is presenting, if you have a question for her, we'd just like you to enter it here in the comments box and hit save. And importantly, you do not have to be logged on to the wiki with your account in order to post a comment. So Grace will be monitoring all the comments as they come in for each speaker. And then at the end of their 15-minute presentation, she will read off the comments and the speakers can respond. So this is the way to interact today, is go to the title on the agenda and then scroll down a little bit and just enter your comment for that speaker. Okay. I think we're ready to get started unless I missed anything.
Sounds good.
Jane, can I just add one more thing? Oh, sorry. I just wanted to reiterate, I think Grace said this at the beginning, but through the comments is the way for all the participants to interact. So that the participants can't use their mic just because we have so many people. Just wanted to clarify that for everybody.